Hi everybody, John Lincoln with Ignite Visibility, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 local SEO tactics that you should consider adding to your local SEO program for 2025. Now, I'm actually really excited about these tactics. I think there's something different that can cut through the clutter of some of these standard local SEO programs that I see out there, which frankly have been kind of the same for a really long time. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can take things up a notch. And we're going to start with some of the most simple items, and then we're going to end with some of the most exciting items, such as generative engine optimization and what you need to be thinking about there going into next year. So starting with number 1, local service pages and local geo pages are pages for a local business that under that location promote a service or promote another sub-geography, such as a zip code or a surrounding area. Now, these are not going away. They rank well in Google as long as they have value. And really, to me, that's the big issue. Do they all have value? So I think as you're getting into 2025, you want to think to yourself, how can I make these pages more valuable for the user, for Google, for everybody involved, so they're not just a big block of text? So some of the ways you can do that is by conversion rate optimization. For all your local pages, they're probably all on one template, testing conversion rate optimization techniques on them so that you can get them to convert higher. Running split tests, if that test is positive, it has a higher conversion rate, rolling that out across all the pages. Also looking at things like dwell time, reducing bounce rate, using conversion rate optimization to build better pages for these local franchisees, these local locations. Next, video. Local video that's specific to the area. It's very easy to do this off of a template and having one template that works for many, many locations. Or if it's a big enough location and it has enough revenue and it really needs the effort, you can do a specific video shoot and make videos just for that area. Expert quotes. So whoever's in charge of that individual location, getting expert quotes from them and also getting facts that are unique to that location and FAQs that are unique to that location, putting them on that page. But in addition to that, having images that call out some of these expert quotes, some of these expert facts, having that multimedia. And by doing these type of things, just think how much better these pages are going to be interpreted by customers, how much better they're going to rank, how much better they're going to look, how much prouder you're going to be of them. So these are a couple ways that you can improve your local service pages and geo pages as you get into 2025. Now, I talked about video a little bit already, but when it comes to video, it's really the future. People want to see video. Over 50% of people go on YouTube before making a product or a service purchase. So creating local video and using those local videos for YouTube, for landing pages, taking them and optimizing them for social search. So when somebody's doing a search for the category and location on things like TikTok and Instagram, which a lot of younger people are nowadays, having a presence there, being one of those first locations to actually have a presence in social search, YouTube, of course, and then using some of that same video from a video shoot and using that for your social feed. So creating those exciting videos that show up in the social feed so that you can go viral and get a lot of exposure for a small amount of money. In addition to that, if you're going to put in all the work to create these great videos, it's also a really good idea to use those same videos for your ads. Performance Max, YouTube, Meta, for example. TikTok. TikTok has a really cool new integration with CRMs such as HubSpot, and they have new local advertising solutions, but you need video to be able to do that. And of course, using those videos for your Google Business Profile. Now let's talk about Google Business Profiles a little bit, because that brings me to item number 3. Video on your Google Business Profile. It makes you stand out. Think about the difference of having one image of owner who isn't even paying attention to the camera, who knows what he's doing, opposed to having curated video, curated images that show things like reviews, happy customers, staff, maybe an offer that's going on right at that time. This is what I want to challenge you to think about: the multimedia on your Google business profile and curating that more, making sure that for all your locations, whether you've got 10, whether you've got 10,000, having a baseline standard of national to local for the images and the videos that are on every single location, so that when somebody sees them, they can connect the landing page, they can connect the social media, they can connect the Google My Business. It all has a look and feel baseline. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't add more videos and you can't add more photos over time, but at least you have that baseline on your Google business profile, and that for sure is going to improve conversion rates. In addition to that, standard optimized text. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is that generative engine optimization is coming onto the scene. And where do a lot of these generative engines get their information? Well, for sure, Gemini is getting their information from YouTube, from Google business profiles. They're getting their information from the web. We know that ChatGPT search, the new Search GPT, is getting their information from Bing. So it's really important that we put the correct information out there so that when we get into item number 5, not to jump ahead, we have a really good first foot forward. Now, let's take a step back. Let's talk about number 4, local press. To me, this is a really under-tapped area for local SEO that people should focus on more. Local press releases. Anybody can send out a press release. Sometimes they rank, but regardless, even if they do or don't, they get exposure to those local landing pages and get exposure for the local business and the local media. And a lot of times those local media pickups rank. Media, reaching out to the media and having a story. So seasonal stories. Every single month, having something that you're promoting on a local level to the local media. Press release and local PR outreach is a great way to do that. Events. If you have an event, or if you do an event with a partner in the local area, making sure you're promoting that to the media, making sure that you're doing press releases on that, and just in general, making sure every single site out there, every business directory, every review site, every rating site has a good review of your business out there, and you have a good presence on it so that you own your whole local market and you're always promoting the positive things that you're doing. And again, just going back to these partnerships, what are the top partners you could have in that local market, and how can you do events with them? How can you do partnerships with them? How can you promote each other on social media? How can you do guest blogs together? How can you be a good member of the community? Now, let's get to our last item. Item number 5, and this is what I'm the most excited about, maybe the most scared about. I'm not sure which. I'm going to say excited, and that is generative engine optimization. So these generative engines now, if you ask them for a service provider, for any information on a multi-location business, if they ask you who's better, you or your competitor, if you push them hard enough, they're eventually going to make a decision about you or your competitor. Now, we are already seeing there is some level of traffic coming from these generative search engines, from Gemini, just within the Google AI overviews, also within things like ChatGPT search. We're starting to see leads come in from that. In addition to that, Perplexity is out and people are using that. Perplexity is launching ads. So not only are we going to have ads in these generative engines and these AI overviews, but we're also going to 110% need to optimize your business for them. It's very, very important. I've talked to a lot of people about this. It needs to be on your roadmap so you can get ahead of it next year. The more they learn about your business, the better off you'll be at the beginning and in the long run. So we need to kind of create a process around this, and I'm going to help you do it. So for your local business, first thing you want to do is map all the mentions of your business and your competitors in generative engines. Now, we can do this with tools. SEMrush has some elements of this, but also just looking and doing manual research around some of your top keywords. Now, after we know everywhere that mentions you, that gives us a really good map into what is actually causing those generative engines to mention you. So we want to do a couple things. We want to make sure that we update all the third-party sites with the correct information that these generative engines are pulling from in order to show information about you, right? We also want to update our own website. So, what are all the questions and answers? What's all the correct information? And we want to submit that information directly to these generative engines, as well as have it readily available on the website. A great way to do this is to have FAQ targeting, so frequently asked questions targeting the specific questions and answers that generative engines are answering about your business on the web pages that they will be crawling and looking at, and also just making sure that information gets to these generative engines. So in general, when we're thinking about 2025 and we're thinking about local SEO, whether you're a multi-location business, whether you're a franchise business, maybe you have 2 locations, whether you have more, and really even if you're outside of local SEO and you're outside of multi-location businesses, you're going to be thinking about these same things. But in general, I want you to think a lot about better usability metrics on the website, conversion rate optimization, more trust and authority through expertise. I want you to think about video, getting started with video, having it be on your roadmap just as much as written content. It's not as hard to do as you think, and you got to get started in order to get good at it. I want you to think about social search in the social web more than before, and then taking all these creative, all this video, everything you've made, and using that for an integrative strategy with your ads, with Google business profiles, and then making sure that this all maps together correctly. You've got reviews, you've got happy customers, you've got staff in your Google business profiles, and then always having a great content calendar of press, of events, building those partnerships, and addressing all the items that I talked about on the generative engine side, because by the end of 2025, you can be sure that the amount of traffic coming from these generative engines is going to grow by hundreds, if not thousands of percent, and become a bigger and bigger piece of the pie. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like, give me a comment. I always appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.